I'm Brent Leary.
I'm Paul Greenberg.
We're the CRM Players. We're not in Vegas. We're in Austin, Texas, and we like it that way.
For the first time in months, we can say we're in a city we actually like.
And we're at a conference that we really like.
Yeah.
From a company that we really, really like. It's Zoho's Zoholics.
Which is not as alcoholic as you might think. Although some does pass lips.
Okay. So sitting with us today is Vijay Sundaram. He is the Chief Strategy Officer for Zoho. Vijay, thank you for joining us.
Hey, thanks a lot for having me.
Yeah, so you just finished another big day here at Zoholics. It's been a really interesting conference. You guys announced a ton of stuff. You are already losing your voice from announcing all that stuff, right?
Plus, it is a ton. An actual 2,000
It's a lot of
pounds
stuff,
worth.
yeah.
It's a 10-gallon. We actually, they have enough stuff that
You
actually
remember-
fits a 10-gallon hat.
You know what? If you'll do it, I'll do it.
Okay,
Wait,
okay.
yeah, you too. All
Yeah.
three of us. Hold on.
We're,
I'm
we're,
gonna-
we're gonna do this.
This is a sacrifice on my part. I want you to know.
Are you kidding me?
I'm a
You'll
New
see how
Yorker.
big a sacrifice it is when you see it.
All right.
Okay, we're all on.
Oh, that's horrible. I can't even
This
see
hat
it,
is-
and I
look.
know it's horrible.
It's-
Oh my God.
Mine works.
Yeah, you're the one that actually pulls
Mine
it off.
is actually small.
I'm gonna pull it off like this.
Yeah. I am going to join you. I will tip my hat first.
No,
We did that specifically for Sandy Lowe, who is not even here. She'll get a big surprise when she actually sees this video that we actually did
Just,
that.
I'd like to make an announcement. That is the first and last time I will ever wear a cowboy hat.
Only at Zoholics that this kind of happens.
That shows how much I actually like the company. I'm willing to demean myself at that level.
All right, so give us a little taste of some of the things that people learn here at Zoholics about what you guys have in store.
you know, the interesting thing is people come here, our customers come here. The most exciting thing for us, of course, is that we meet customers, right? Here we have 200 people from the company. These are people many from India, all over the world, right? And they don't have a sense of what impact their stuff has. You know, they're building this, they're sitting behind this big building over there, building stuff. All of a sudden they come out here and somebody comes in and says, my life and business depends on that little thing that you're building, you know? So,
And this employee is like the first time
Yeah.
seeing a customer talk about it in that way.
yeah, so
That is cool.
So the big gratification, even to someone like me, is to watch that sheer joy in my colleagues' face. You know, to see that they've shown up here, they're hanging around, they're listening to music in the evening over here, and in the morning they're talking to people whose lives are being transformed by the stuff they built. You know, and that's a sense of purpose in life.
I like that he spotted that as the thing that was really interesting.
Culture, man.
Yeah, that's really cool.
The thing that blows me away about you guys, see, interestingly enough, we might hear that from other people who won't believe them. In your case, we believe it, right? Right.
Maybe it's the hat.
So the thing is, your culture is the most extraordinary culture. And by the way, there's no caveats in this. Your culture is the most extraordinary culture I have literally ever seen at a company, bar none. And the reality of it is that you, others at the company, tend to be able to extend that right to your customers, and they feel it. They don't just see it, they feel it. And you always have this enormous stock of goodwill from them because they love you. And yet you're seeing this joy on this employee's face.
Yeah.
You're seeing your customers happy. Makes you happy. You got a real happy company there.
It's a happy day.
So I know you guys are very conscious
Yeah.
of culture and what it means for you and everyone. So how do you even think about it?
Yeah, it actually comes from something fundamentally human and natural to you. You can't put on a culture, right? It has to be natural to you. So some of the things that come out over here that many of us share is we've all worked in corporations before. This notion of fundamentally not taking yourself too seriously. You know, so you allow yourself to laugh at yourself, allow your colleagues to laugh at yourself, allow your customers to laugh at you. You know, so there's a sense of we don't take ourselves too seriously about this. So that's one side of it that actually helps.
You have a lot in common with us because we definitely don't take ourselves seriously.
Yeah,
so.
so
And
that-
even if we try, nobody else does.
yeah, and the other part of it is, you know, you have when you're able to do that, we talk about humility a lot, right? And that helps because it engenders you to people, right? You know, because it makes you approachable, and over time you realize, why isn't everybody that way? You know, you just get to make friends, you just get to be, you don't erect barriers when you talk to people. Even the young people treat you like you're one of them. So it's a nice thing to do.
Wow,
That's
the
unique to
young
you.
people treating us
I was just thinking of
like
that, too.
them, that, I need to look into that one a little bit more.
That does not happen to my knowledge.
But actually, you have a lot of young people working here,
Yeah.
and I think part of the way the culture works is it really empowers them and lets them be more themselves than to try to come into a company and have to conform to something that they really aren't.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You know, average age is in the 20s, right?
Really?
Yeah, it's in the 20s, and you know, and you find that kind of relationship with people. All of a sudden, you have somebody who's got 10 years of experience. They're 32 years old, and they know a lot more about you than some things. That's part of the humility, right? So if you don't wear that, or you don't have that, how do you deal with somebody who's spent their 10 years on one problem? They're 20 years younger than you, and you have to have that acceptance that, hey, this is how the world is. you know?
Yeah.
Well, I know you're also unique in that you have Zoho University, and you kind of graduate people to you, in a manner of speaking,
Yeah.
who are young, but when they get to you, but they're usually, 21 or so, give or take?
When they start, they're even younger. They come out of high school, so they're 18.
Wow.
Yeah.
So by the time they're 20, they're part of Zoho.
Yes, 20, 21, they're part of Zoho, right?
That's
And
amazing.
they've already got a certain level of skills and experiences that allow them to contribute at a much earlier age than people that go to traditional colleges.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, one element of that is of course they learn what the job requires them to do. So that's one piece, right? The other thing is a lot of us, and maybe not all of us, but if you're 17 or 18, what do you suffer from is self-confidence.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't know, you're scared to present yourself in front
Yep.
of people. And we kind of take that out of the equation, you know. So people come in, they start performing, maybe they don't want to be in front of any light at the moment yet. So they sit down, they build some product, do some stuff, and 2 years later they're in a show like this, right? And then
Yep.
now, all of a sudden, that confidence has come up. So you take away the barriers that people have at young ages
Yep.
and allow different kinds of people to flourish.
They're presenting in front of hundreds
Yeah.
of people,
Yeah.
and they're presenting a skill or an application in front of those people.
Yeah.
At that age, I was like
Absolutely.
sitting around trying to stay away from an audience of any kind, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they're in front, and they're actually, really talking about things that are going to help.
Yeah.
Which is really kind of the fun thing that you point out. They actually see the customers that they built this app for saying how important it is to them, and they're seeing that at a young age, and they have that kind of impact at a young age.
Yes,
And that's
yeah.
really something I don't see a lot of in
No.
a lot of companies.
No, well, again, the thing that's immensely appealing is you're conscious of all this. It's not like it happens by accident. You're making a point of making sure that these are young people who are going to have the best opportunity at life you can possibly help them with. You can't
Absolutely, yeah.
do everything. They got to do it themselves
Yeah.
ultimately, but you are helping them with that opportunity. So another area. The other thing, you guys are hardcore when it comes to good with a capital G, right? You're just doing good all the time. You're running projects that are helping human beings that have nothing to do with software.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit.
See, it starts from from people itself, right? So we talked about enabling people to get started early in life. All of us look for some form of gratification from what we do, right? So that fits into this narrative I just said of why engineers come here and they look and see the impact they have. You can meet a 45-year-old guy who's pricing derivatives on Wall Street, is now 45 or 50 years old and doesn't know what the heck he's actually done in his life or what people have derived from it. You know, we get that happening to somebody who's 22 or 23 or 25 who comes here and sees the impact of what they do. That's doing good, right? It
Right.
makes them feel good about themselves. And then there's the other stuff that we can actually do. One element of this is and it goes back to a very fundamental philosophy of doing things locally, investing where you are, and not abdicating that responsibility. to the government or to some other agency. Don't you do things where you want to be part of it. Maybe we've taken it a little bit to almost to an extreme by saying we're even going to do it in education, but certainly do it in other places that you can, right? So we have a facility in Pleasanton. We open it up to local businesses to come and use it. We have fantastic audiovisual capabilities and conference rooms and everything else. So, Toastmasters locally want to come and use it, come and use it. Some school wants to run some parent-teacher stuff, come and use it, we're just paying for the electricity, so what's the big deal, So it's, what do we lose? But we engender a sense of belonging, and people feel that this is a good thing. It makes you feel good. It's actually, it's not even altruistic. It's selfish because it makes you feel good.
Yeah. Well, you're actually a community center.
Yeah.
Right, which is amazing.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna have to kind of wrap this up because I just got the low power signal, so that's. But I want you to
super
touch.
high tech on
I want
the
you to
show.
touch on this one thing. This one you actually mentioned. You mentioned it in your keynote, but it was a quote from Sridhar that you mentioned about Zoho being good at leaving money on the table. Why is that? Why do you guys like leaving money on the table?
And can you leave it on my table, please?
You leave money on the table. The table stays up for a much longer time, right? There are people who still come there and work at the table for you.
Yeah.
And it stems from a fundamental belief that people are going to be with you. Right? So you're not going to lose their business. They're going to be with you. They're going to serve you. They're going to come and buy your stuff in their 10th year and their 15th year. What does it matter trying for me to scoop it all up now? They're going to be around. Right. They're going to do this stuff for us, and they're going to love the way we work with them. And what are we going to do, as Sridhar would say, what are we going to do with those extra $10? Are you going to buy a bigger mansion? So it's good for business too, right? And it's sometimes it feels, having worked in other places before, I wasn't brought up here. It feels sometimes illogical.
Yeah.
Because we've so been we've so been conditioned to think that way. Any business school, you talk about profit maximization, you talk about utility maximization. They'll throw all these goddamn terms at you, right? But what is most important in business is longevity. And an ability to do it where people are all happy working with each other.
Yes.
So that's why you leave money on the table.
Amen, brother.
All right. Well, you're going to leave the money on the table. I'm just going to be around the table once the money is left on the table and pick it up. But I'm going to leave these cowboy hats on this table.
Yeah, right.
I'm not taking that home. But anyway, thanks for joining us, and this has been great.
Thank you. It's a lot of fun.
All right. I'm Brent Leary.
I'm Paul Greenberg.
We're the CRM Playaz, and we're going out
We are gone.
with our guns slinging. Anyway.